Genesis 1-50, Creation, Fall, and the Patriarchs. Genesis stands as the foundational book of the Bible. Within its chapters, we discover the origins of creation, humanity's place within it, and the introduction of sin into the world. It establishes key themes that resonate throughout the entire biblical narrative. These include the covenant relationship between God and humanity, the enduring power of promise, and the ongoing struggle between good and evil. The opening chapters of Genesis unveil God's magnificent creation in 6 distinct days. Each day reveals a new facet of His creative power and intentional design. On the first day, God spoke light into existence, dispelling the darkness. The second day saw the separation of the heavens and the earth, establishing the boundaries of our world. The third day brought forth land, seas, and vegetation, providing a foundation for life. On the fourth day, God created the sun, moon, and stars, marking time and illuminating the earth. The fifth day teemed with birds and sea creatures, filling the skies and oceans with life. Finally, on the sixth day, God created land animals and humanity, crowning His creation. Throughout the creation narrative, there is an emphasis on God's power, order, and inherent goodness. Each act of creation is declared good, reflecting God's perfect design. Humanity, created in God's image, is declared very good, signifying our unique relationship with the Creator. God establishes a covenant with humanity, granting dominion over the earth. He also provides for their needs, ensuring their sustenance and well-being within the created order. This initial covenant highlights God's provision and humanity's responsibility. The serpent, a symbol of temptation, enters the narrative, challenging God's command. He deceives Eve, leading to disobedience and the eating of the forbidden fruit. This act of disobedience marks the introduction of sin, shame, and death into the world. Adam and Eve are banished from the Garden of Eden, severing their direct access to God's presence. The consequences of their actions ripple through generations, impacting all of humanity. The fall represents a turning point, altering the relationship between God and His creation. The story of Cain and Abel illustrates the destructive nature of sin. Cain's jealousy leads to the murder of his brother, Abel, a stark consequence of unchecked anger. This act of violence highlights the breakdown of relationships and the spread of wickedness. The genealogy of Adam's descendants reveals the spread of humanity across the earth. However, it also reveals an increasing wickedness in the world, a departure from God's original intention. Sin continues to corrupt and distort the created order. God observes the pervasive evil on earth and experiences profound grief. He makes the difficult decision to cleanse the earth with a flood, a judgment against wickedness. Noah, a righteous man, finds favor in God's eyes. He receives instruction to build an ark, a vessel of salvation for his family and animals. The flood destroys the wicked, cleansing the earth of its corruption. After the flood, God establishes a covenant with Noah, promising never again to destroy the earth with a flood. This covenant is symbolized by the rainbow, a reminder of God's promise and mercy. The flood serves as both a judgment and a new beginning for humanity. Humanity, united in purpose, embarks on an ambitious project, building a tower to reach heaven. This act demonstrates their unity and ambition, but also their pride and defiance of God. God intervenes by confusing their languages, hindering their ability to communicate. This leads to the scattering of humanity across the earth, fulfilling God's intention for them to fill the world. The Tower of Babel serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of pride and the importance of humility before God. It also explains the diversity of languages and cultures across the globe. God calls Abraham to leave his homeland and journey to an unknown land. He promises to make Abraham a great nation, blessing him and making his name great. Abraham's journey is a testament to his faith and obedience. He establishes a covenant with Abraham, promising him land and descendants as numerous as the stars. Abraham faces tests of faith, including the near sacrifice of his son, Isaac. His willingness to obey God demonstrates his unwavering trust and devotion. The birth of Isaac is a miraculous event, fulfilling God's promise of a son in Abraham's old age. The near sacrifice of Isaac foreshadows the ultimate sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Isaac becomes the continuation of the covenant, carrying on the promise of blessing to future generations. Abraham's story is a cornerstone of faith, demonstrating the power of obedience and trust in God. The story of Jacob and Esau is one of sibling rivalry and deception. Jacob, through trickery, obtains Esau's birthright and blessing, setting the stage for conflict. Fearing Esau's wrath, Jacob flees to his uncle Laban, where he spends years working and raising a family. During his time away, Jacob experiences both hardship and blessing. Upon his return, Jacob wrestles with God and is renamed Israel, signifying a new identity and purpose. This encounter marks a turning point in Jacob's life, transforming him into a man of God. Joseph, Jacob's favored son, is envied by his brothers. They sell him into slavery in Egypt, driven by jealousy and resentment. In Egypt, Joseph rises to power through his ability to interpret dreams. He saves Egypt from famine, becoming a trusted advisor to Pharaoh. When famine strikes Canaan, Joseph's brothers travel to Egypt seeking food. Joseph reveals his identity to his brothers, leading to a dramatic moment of reconciliation. He forgives them for their past actions, demonstrating remarkable grace and compassion. Jacob and his family relocate to Egypt, where they are provided for by Joseph. Jacob and Joseph eventually die in Egypt, but their story sets the stage for the Israelites' sojourn in Egypt. Joseph's story foreshadows the Exodus, the Israelites' deliverance from slavery. Genesis serves as a foundational text, providing the origins of the world, humanity, and sin. It establishes God's relationship with creation and his ongoing interaction with humanity. Genesis lays the groundwork for the rest of the Bible, introducing key themes such as covenant, promise, and the struggle between good and evil. It sets the stage for future events, including the Exodus, the giving of the law, and the coming of the Messiah. The stories of creation, the fall, and the patriarchs offer profound insights into the nature of God, humanity, and the world around us. Genesis invites us to reflect on our own relationship with God and to embrace his promises of redemption and restoration.